Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on today. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay. I wanted to do a quick video on something that just happened about 30 minutes ago. A Memphis police officer chased a car that ended up crashing, and the police officer had to fire off rounds and actually hit the suspect. Shout out to Blackwood News. I want to go to show the conference. Hold on one second.
No, they have not been forthcoming with a name. Inside and saw that they were armed. The officer retreated back to his car, observed a vehicle that was stopped in a lane of traffic on Fraser Raleigh near New Allen, occupied three times by individuals that were asleep. All of them were wearing masks and gloves. As the officer approached the vehicle, he peered inside and saw that they were armed. The officer retreated back to his car, called for additional units to back him up. As officers pulled on the scene, they went to make contact with the individuals inside the car, at which point one of the individuals picked up a gun and pointed at officers. Our officers did fire twice, striking the subject. The car then took off, headed northbound, officers in pursuit. The officers chased the car onto St. Elmo, and at Edinburgh, the car impacted a civilian vehicle. The driver was taken into custody without incident. The backseat passenger was also taken into custody without incident. The front passenger left the vehicle running northbound, and we're still seeking information on him. The driver of the vehicle was struck twice. He was initially transported to Regional 1 Hospital in critical condition, but was later downgraded to non-critical. The occupants of the civilian vehicle that were struck were also transported, but they were transported non-critical and appeared to be in good spirits. The two that were charged were in a stolen car. We also did recover two stolen pistols that were taken. The car was stolen from West Memphis earlier this morning. One of the pistols was stolen last night. At this time, I'll take any questions. Both of them were 9mm. One was a Glock, the other one was a Ruger.
What were the ages of the people in the other vehicle?
There was one young child and a lady, and I don't know her definite age, but mother of like a 6-year-old.
And then the suspect vehicle, men, women.
Suspect were all men, one aged 18, the other aged 17.
And you said the reason for the police pulling them over is because of why?
So they were not pulled over. They were stopped in a lane of traffic, and they were asleep inside the vehicle with weapons laying in their laps. So as the officer approached the vehicle, he peered inside and saw in plain view that they were armed with weapons. Instead of trying to make contact with them, he backed off, called for additional cars so that we would have the ability to contain the scene for public safety. Then upon approach, one of the suspects awakened, grabbed his pistol and pointed at our officers, at which time our officers fired shots.
So do you have any reason as to why they were just sitting in the middle of the road?
I can't speculate as to why they were in the middle of the road. Evidently, they were tired and fell asleep inside the vehicle at a red light, and the traffic left, and they didn't.
Since two of them were minors, have all families been notified of what's gone on?
I'm not privy to whether they've been. I'm sure they have been notified. One was a minor, one was an 18-year-old, so he was an adult. The age of the third suspect, we're estimating between 17 and 20, but we're still looking for him.
Have the other suspects given y'all any information about the one who ran off? The ones that you apprehended?
They know him from school, but no, they have not been forthcoming with a name.
That's it. That's it.
Prefer not to say on the school. Good?
Yep, we're good.
All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
We supposed to record it?
Oh, man. You know what? Hang on a second. Let me get over here in the camera.
Thank you, guys.
seriously, I don't know. We haven't got any more information. They did all go to school together. That's it. I really don't want to put the school's name out there.
Okay. Did y'all notify the DA's office or TBI?
Absolutely, absolutely notify the DA's office. Anytime there's an officer involved shooting, we always notify the DA. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all setting all this up. I feel honored.
The 18-year-old, when will his
So no charges have actually been filed. We have 2 in custody. When charges are
Okay.
finalized, we can get you the name of the 18-year-old and the charges for the 17-year-old.
Oh yeah.
And the kid in the car, the civilian car, was 10, not 6.
Okay. Is TBI coming?
No, suspect's alive.
Thank y'all.
Are you guys gonna put out a press release or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna send something in writing too. It'll be along the same lines of everything Chandler said, but yes, we're gonna send something in writing.
All right. Thanks. Thank
Teresa.
you.
Thank y'all.
Okay, so he says that the suspects were asleep. They fell asleep at a red light. One was 18, one was a minor, and I think he said that there was a third one. When the light turned green, they was asleep. So evidently, for them to stop at a red light and all of them to be knocked out like that, they probably was on some fentanyl or some type of narcotic. And he says that the officer pulled up and saw that they had weapons in the car, so he backed up and went back to his car and to call for backup. And when he walked back up to the car to approach car, I'm sure it startled the young whoever it was in the stolen car, the driver, because the car was stolen, and he points a gun at the officer. He may not have known, because they were to fall asleep at a red light. I mean, everybody be knocked out at a damn red light. Um, they'll be able to pull the video at the light, the red light footage, the camera footage to to see how long they were sitting there at that red light. But it's weird, I guess he was asleep with his feet on the brakes. Not unless he put the car in park. That's weird, but it happens. It happens. People are so, because I saw it one day. I was on my way to my mother's house, and I went to her house, and the guy was sitting there in the car asleep, and and I came back through. He was asleep. I went to the grocery store, and he was sitting in the driver's seat of the car, just sitting there, at an intersection, at the stop sign, asleep. Everybody was going around him. Then I was like, "Well, maybe he's dead." So then, some of the people in the neighborhood, because this was in a neighborhood, started to get concerned. And I know everybody in my mom's neighborhood, and I was like, well, I think we should call the police. And he was still just sitting there at the stop sign asleep. He stopped at the stop sign and fell asleep. He wasn't on the side of the road or nothing. He just stopped at the stop sign. Another car went by and he fell asleep, waiting for that car to go by. And right before the police got there, he jumped up like the exorcist and like nothing ever happened and put his foot put the pedal to the metal. Okay. It was real weird. So it happens. They be on all types of drugs, but the thing about it is people gonna say, well, they started. They were scared. They know who the police was. The point of the matter is they're not supposed to have guns. The car was stolen. And the police don't know the police is not a mind reader. The police is not a mind reader. The police are trained to eliminate any threat and any suspect, any subject pointing a gun at you is a threat. Hell, a civilian, if somebody point a gun at me, if I can get to mine, I'm gonna fire it. Somebody walk up to my car right now and put a gun in the window. I'm gonna do whatever I can to make sure I eliminate the threat. If that means taking the car and run them over or whatever, or getting to my weapon or whatever. I mean, police officers have to defend themselves too, right? So they're saying that the suspect was in critical, but he's been upgraded now. He's in non-critical. One of them jumped out and ran, and the other one I think was taken into custody. Okay, so they got the minor that should be in school today. They got the 18-year-old, I do believe, which is the driver, and the other one they don't know who it is because they haven't told on that person yet. But I'll give it a week. They'll tell it. They're gonna tell it. But anyways, y'all, before people start, well, why the this is the type of stuff that it really matters. I hate that it happens, but I think this is where we have to start being logical. Cause we start screaming on every rooftop and letting people get us emotional. Well, they was at the light sleep. Ain't nobody supposed to be in no damn red light sleep. Y'all know it. So this is where we have to start being logical and say, okay, even though these were children, they did point a gun at the police officer, and the police officer did what they were trained to do. Let me just say this. I went through the academy, and I think I've spoken about that. 5 weeks before we had 5 weeks before I was supposed to become a police officer, before we was to graduate the academy. Because I had already gotten my assignment. I would have been my assignment would have been downtown precinct, but I would have been TA to Vice and Narcotic. And I injured my hip, so God removed me. And we would be shooting. I was one of the top girls at the range. We were losing. A lot of girls failed out because they couldn't handle that weapon. I've always been very strong, right? And so um police officers, we would be shooting over 100 rounds a day to the point that our fingers. I think that's the reason why I have problems with one of my fingers now. Okay, we'd be pulling so many rounds a day that our finger and stuff would be so tired that the trigger would become heavy. We would be shaking trying to pull the trigger back. That's how many rounds we would shoot, and it was all front and center mass. Then we would have class. Police officers are not to pull their weapon unless it is are not to fire their weapons unless it is to eliminate a threat. It's not to shoot them in the leg because I hear people say, "Well, why didn't you shoot him in the leg?" It's not to. You can't shoot him in the leg. If you fire your weapon, it is because there is a threat, and the threat must be eliminated. That's what they teach you, front and center mass. You don't pull your weapon and fire it unless there is a threat. And if you fire it, it is because it is a threat and you must eliminate the threat. Okay? So you ain't gonna be shooting nobody in the arm and in the leg and all of that. You have to take them out. It's sad, but that's what. If you fire it, you better take them out. That's the way officers are trained. So that's why I say a lot of citizens are need to go through the Citizens Academy so that they can learn more about how police officers are trained. So when the mom said, "Well, she could have shot my baby in the arm and let him live," they were that dirty. No, they are doing what they were trained to do. Okay, they're doing what they're trained to do. When people feel like police officers are being dirty, whenever I'm a grown man, I could put my hand in my pocket. They train us. I have phobias about that to this day. About people standing behind me because they teach you that. I back in everywhere I go. They taught us that so that we can get out quickly, right? And I don't like for people to talk to me that I don't know with their hands in their pocket. I be consistently watching their hands. It's just something, it's psychologically embedded in my head because that's what they're taught. It's paramilitary. It's paramilitary. So when I hear about these young boys shooting at people and you know, They oftentimes they miss. Okay, it is because they got their guns turned sideways and stuff. They don't really know how to shoot right. Because they shouldn't be shooting at all, right? It should not be happening at all, right? But I can just see somebody getting the people emotional. Well, they weren't causing nobody no harm. All they was doing sitting at the red light sleep. And they only pulled a gun on the officer because when he woke up, he didn't know who the officer was. They didn't have to shoot him. When those young boys were wrong from A to Z, they was wrong all the way across the board. Because number one, they stole a car. They sitting at a traffic light sleep because they probably stoned out of their minds. They on some type of fentanyl because that's what knocks them out like that, right? Then they after they go, I could hear them say, well, they only ran from the police, put them on the chase because they got scared. They thought they was trying to kill them. Then they crashed and hit some civilians. Thank God that you know, they lived. They're not hurt or anything. But not only could they have killed the civilians, they could have killed their own food selves. Okay. So instead of upholding them, this is the opportunity to let them know that what they did was wrong and there has to be some correction, right? We can't keep upholding wrong because they'll keep doing it. This ain't the chance to be pointing the finger at the police and making up all kinds of damn lies. Well, the police had lied. They telling a lie. Ain't in Memphis. Ain't the ones that's in Memphis probably in Whitehaven, so they ain't seen it either. Hell, they don't know what happened. But it's all on camera because the officers have to wear body cam and then the lights have cameras. Okay, so I'm sure that footage is being pulled. That footage is already being pulled because the police have control of the lights. Because when I was working traffic, we control the lights. We get the key and open the damn pole up and control the red and green lights when we was trying to control traffic. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I just wanted to talk about that. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. But I said that to say this, we have to do better and we have to start holding these young people accountable. I'm happy that the young man has been upgraded because I don't want to see the young man die. I'm happy he did not die. Um, I'm happy that the officer wasn't hurt. The civilians that they hit crashed into. I'm happy that they're not hurt and all of that. I'm happy, but this would be the perfect opportunity to start trying to instill because see, they're still babies. They had a minor who should have been at school. They got an 18-year-old that is a baby. He's a baby. I don't know how old the other one is because they're not giving the police information on that yet until they start shooting fire up under their ass. Okay. But you got a minor that's a baby. You got an 18-year-old that is a baby. A 18-year-old is a baby. That's a baby. His brain is still not developed. He's going to change about two or three more times. He's not going to be the same person at 25. Even if he's still doing dirt, his thought process will be a little different at 25 and at 30 because his brain is still developing still at 18, right? But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Love you guys. Speak with you later.